to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. Willie Brown was the first African American woman to earn both a pilot's license and a commercial license. Brown was also the first African American woman to become an officer in the Illinois Civil Air Patrol. While enrolled in a master's degree program at Northwestern University, Brown joined the Challenger Air Pilots Association and learned to fly at Harlem Field on the southwest side of Chicago. In 1935, she earned her Master Mechanic certificate, training at Curtis Wright Aeronautical University, and began giving flight and ground school instruction at the field. One day in 1936, dressed in an aviator's uniform of white job purse, jacket, and boots, she walked into the Chicago Defender newspaper office and made a pitch for publicity for an African American air show to be held at Harlem Field. The advertising resulted in the attendance of between 200 and 300 people and showcased a number of talented black pilots in the Chicago area. Enoch Waters, the editor of the paper, covered the event himself and went for a flight with Brown in a Piper Cub, a ride he wouldn't soon forget. An advocate of African American pilots, Brown also was a co-founder of National Airmen's Association of America, a group for black aviators, in 1939. During World War II, Brown sought to join the WASP but was rejected because of her race. She contributed in other ways to the war effort. Brown and her husband Cornelius Coffey organized Civil Air Patrol Squadron 613 in conjunction with his school, the Coffey School of Aeronautics. She held the ranks of lieutenant and adjutant in the organization. The CAP flew anti-submarine machines, border patrols, and courier services, protecting the home front and freeing pilots for the war front. Brown was the director of the Coffey School when it was selected by the Civil Aeronautics Administration as one of several black schools and colleges to offer the civilian pilot training program, a program that trained thousands of pilots throughout the United States. The success of the Coffey School and other black aviation students led to the eventual admission of African Americans into the Army Air Forces through the War Training Service program at these schools. This program provided a pool of instructors and trainees at Tuskegee Army Airfield. According to the World War II Museum, Brown was directly responsible for training over 200 future Tuskegee airmen and instructors. She continued to break new ground throughout her life, including in 1946 when she became the first African American woman to run for Congress. Willa Brown's work in the air and on land promoted awareness of African American pilots, made the way for them to join the military, and set an example for others. Let me say something. I've gone through a lot of different history, and I can say timeline wise, you know, I love a lot of the older women from, older time periods because they were out there like forging new ground. They were out there doing groundbreaking things, doing things that a lot of other women wouldn't even necessarily be trying to do, right? And because they were doing that, they were garnering and getting so much respect from men. And I can safely say back then, I probably would have been trying to propose left and right. I would have been trying to propose left and right, during that timeline. Like I said before, this Miss Brown, she would have had me flying. Let me tell you something. I would have been up there. I would have been up there, flying. I would have been the best of the best of the best of the best, just so I could sit up there and just like see her smile at me. Let me tell you. But the the most beautiful part about this is that it's a part of Black history, right? She was out there forging new ground. She was doing things never before done. She was also um helping to lay down the groundwork for Black girls and Black women after her to go out there and to get into aviation, to go out there and learn how to fly, get their license to fly, take the schooling, and even they themselves becoming teachers. She taught, it was stated, about 200, maybe 200 plus Tuskegee Airmen. But I want to extend it past that because you got to remember, you know, when you're a teacher, your students later on will then become teachers based off of the teachings that you gave them. So it's almost in a sense like she has an endless amount of people that her teachings have gone out there and taught, inform those students into teachers, enabling them to pass those teachings on to other people, then enabling those same students to then become teachers as well. Like I said, it's crazy. It's crazy and it's so awesome. I wish that we were more in a time period of that where you would have a lot of black women going out there to forge brand new grounds, doing things that they've never seen before done. Creating something, brand new, or becoming the first of this type of teacher, or maybe the only of, this type of teacher. And, creating a legacy and a history, right? And the most beautiful part is, Miss Brown had a husband that was also in aviation as well. And, they worked together. And, this yet again solidifies the main thing that I've stated before about how beautiful it is to have the dynamic of a black man with a black woman, and everybody's on the same page and going the exact same route. It's a very beautiful thing to see, and I want to say it's quite underestimated, because the main thing that has been given and taught to us is that we will be successful if we're with other people. It's pretty much impossible, or it's not going to happen if we're amongst ourselves. We don't know what to do. We can't come together. We can't do this. We can't do that. But we can. And the relationship and the marriage that they have proves that, how powerful that was. Like, if you don't know about the Tuskegee Airmen, go do your research. Go watch, some movies. Go watch some documentaries. You'll understand how important this woman is to that history, to those men, and to everything else that transpired due to the fact that she was there. Like I said, it's beautiful. Like I said, Black history is a very beautiful thing, and it's something that will, in a sense, realistically, to the fullest extent, it'll never really get taught in schools, and that's, in a sense, a good and a positive thing, right? Because it's not going to be something that Hollywood is going to try to gravitate towards. It's like, oh well, this is, what's popular amongst, the blacks. Let's start throwing out, a lot of these movies that we don't care about. We just want the money. Let's start making a lot of these TV shows because they seem to care about it, but we just want the money. This enables us to go out there and to do the digging and to do the hard work and to find out about a lot of our own people, and what it is that they were about and what it is that they did, without all of the embellishment and, all of the stuff that they want to take from the story, put into the story, separate from the story, make light of, or whatever it is, however it is that they do television shows and movies. And, it's a way for us to honor them, not by just doing the research ourselves and looking them up and reading the stories, but also passing this down to our children and teaching this within our communities. That's realistically how we should be passing, a lot of this history on. We shouldn't realistically depend on the schools to do it. We should do it internally. We should just do it internally, and we should celebrate it just amongst ourselves, because this is us. Don't expect other people to celebrate us or to celebrate our accomplishments. We should be the ones to do that, right? But hopefully, some young women out there will, look up her history, look up all the things that she has done, and they will find some type of inspiration from that, so that they can go out and forge, their own type of legacy. Go out there and forge, put their name, set it directly in stone, so that, other young girls and women way after them will be able to look up to them and, be able to figure out a plan or spark an idea of something similar to that.